Good morning. Well, I guess it could be any time of day depending on when you're watching. But it's morning here and it's snowing. It's only October 23rd. Crazy. Anyways, I wanted to show you this because we're going to be making it on Patreon. But I am going to show you some of the stitches on YouTube. But if you want the full pattern, we'll do that on Patreon. So this is a little case that I made. This is called Crazy Quilting. Isn't it beautiful? So you find all the different fabrics pieces. You just use pieces. So you don't need to run out and buy a bunch of fabric. I went through my closet and through my scrap box and yeah. And I just took out pieces of things that I just really loved. So this opens up, and I made this bag specifically for this little tiny deck. This is Natalie Lete, L-E-T-E with an accent above both E's. She's a French artist, and she does like really cute, quirky stuff. Like, oh, let's see, where did I put it? I bought one of her scarves to use as a small tarot cloth. So this is some of the kind of artwork that she does. Really beautiful. So that makes a really pretty little tarot cloth. This is too small to use as a scarf in your hair. It's really little. So I mean, I could put like a really tight little knot, but then I'd be stretching out the fabric, and I don't really want to do that. So anyway, so I used from one of her books. It's called Crafting the Seasons. She has pages in there that you can use for your own purposes. And so what, Wally? You cannot go out there. There's birds outside. My neighbor's been feeding them, and it's snowing, and he wants to go outside, and he loves to play in the snow, but I don't want to take the chance. I don't want to do that. You're going to have to wait. You'll have to wait. Sorry. Anyway, so I used one of her papers for the backing of these cards, and these ones I found on Etsy, and I'll put a link below for you so that you can see them or get them if you want. And then so I printed out this on cardstock, and then I turned it around and printed the cards out on this side. Make sure that when you print it out, your images aren't upside down. Right? So these are some of the little cards that were in that digital download. This one I added from a different deck. And yeah, so nice, very simple. And then I edged it in Tim Holtz pine needles. So it's not what this video was about here, but whatever. Isn't that beautiful? Anchor. I hear you, Wally. Right, so nice. Very clear. Very simple. I like that she has the book standing up, because when you read it, depending on where'd the lady go, depending on which side the spine is on, do you see what I mean? That changes the meaning, right? So to me, that kind of looks like, you know, secrets or whatever are and learning and whatnot is open to her, whereas on this side it's kind of like you might have to kind of dig for that information because the spine is facing her or closest to her. So I like that. These are really cute little cards, and I do use them. I do use them, and they shuffle nice. Depends on the cardstock you use, right? And I mean, if they wear out, or I tear one or whatever, I could just print off new ones. But they're really pretty, and you can customize them, right? So I made my friend a gift, and I did hers in colors that she likes, and yeah, so they fit in here perfectly. I want to make a bag. These are my Bluebird Lenormand. They don't fit in there sideways. Boy, you're persistent. I mean, if I tuck them in there, because sometimes I like to use more than one deck, and it'll still hold that, right? So you make your bag, you customize it to the size that you want, okay? So that's not going to, like, if you change the size, it's not going to change the instructions for the bag, okay? But I am going to show you how to do some of the stitches, all right? And yeah, that'll be our introduction to the Patreon video. And then as I go through, oh, I'm thinking now, as I make the actual Patreon video, I will put some of the stitching on YouTube, so it'll be in my playlist. Okay, so I'm going to get stuff started here, and I'll show you the first stitch that we'll do. Okay? Okay. See you in a bit. Okay. So what I've done here is I've gotten a piece of fabric and I've basted on some other little pieces, okay? Now, if you're going to be doing something heavyweight, you might want to put a heavier glitter and stuff all over here, sequins. You might want to put some quilting stuff, batting and stuff behind it and another layer, but I'm just doing it like this because I don't need it super thick. All right, and like for this one, I had put a piece of felt behind it, and it's all right, but I wouldn't go any thicker than that, okay? So, but I think in general, a piece of, you know, heavy cotton for the back, and then basting your pieces on top, and then by the time you get your stitches and your sequins and everything, it's going to be heavy enough anyways, okay? You can use, I'm using pearl cotton right now. You can use embroidery floss. Hang on, I'm just going to close the door because I let Wally outside. But he kept coming and trying to pressure me to go outside with him. He does that when I've been in the house too long. He'll try and make me go outside. He's such a sweet little cat. Okay, so all I did was knotted the end. You want to knot the end, okay? And I'm using a cross stitch needle. This one's like super fine because if I want to put beads and stuff on, if you don't have a super fine one, it doesn't matter. Like some of the beads that I use, they're Mill Hill beads. You don't have to use these beads. You can use any type of bead that you want. But some of these have such a fine, they're so fine that I actually need to use a really fine quilting needle and thread to get them on there. But we're not going to do that right now. What we're going to do is we're going to do a feather stitch. Okay, so knot your thread at the end. You'll have these layered, right? And what you want to do is close this off. So it's basted down. And you're just going to go through. Okay. So it comes out there. And then you're going to want to go in beside it, over the fold, okay? Now, don't pull it all the way through. What you're going to do now is come up in between those two stitches, right on the fold, okay? And you're going to pull it up. and pull that like that. Okay, so now you've got this little V there, or U. Okay, then you're gonna go over from there. Now you'll be able to see how you can vary the stitches, right? Like you can keep going in this direction, you can go in that direction, you can just keep going over the seam. Okay, but we'll get into stuff like that further along in the actual project. Oh, now he wants to come in. Hang on. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Oh, you're a good boy. He even says thank you. That's so sweet. Okay, so you can see where we came up. Okay, now we're gonna go, oh, that's my basting. Now you can go either this way or this way, so I'm just going to go here, down a little bit further, and same idea, we're just going to bring it up. This thread's really thick, so okay, so now you can see, and you can vary the size of your stitches because it'll vary the way the whole thing looks. Okay, so now I'm going to go in the other side. Let's go in over here, and I can, you know, just, if you want to make it really uniform, you can make it really uniform, but it doesn't have to be. This is, you know, it's art. It is an art. Okay, so let's see there. Oops. Come here. Okay, I'm just going to keep that open so you can see it. And then we're going to come up and always catching that folded edge. Okay. There. Okay. And then I'm going to go in on this side. I never use a hoop for this because by the time you've got all these stitches and everything on, the hoop catches on all the sequins and the knots and everything else, and it'll just rip your work, you know, apart, and it's just a terrible mess, right? So all you do is just keep going like that. Okay, so you make your U shape. And you can, you know, just do what I'm doing and use your thumb or something to hold, or something, your thumb to hold that loop down, and then you can come up here. Okay. And then you can just kind of tighten them up a bit as you go. Okay. So super easy. All right. Super easy. You can do your whole project with this stitch, and you don't have to just use this stitch on the seam. You can use this wherever you want. You can go at an angle, you can wherever you want, and then add little beads and sequins to it. You can do the whole project just with feather stitch, right? It's a beautiful little stitch, and it's fun. Do it in different colors, right? Right, there's your U shape, right? And then come up. And, you know, I would suggest doing the basting, all the basting for your project first, and then stitch all these seams, stitch everything down, take the basting out, and then go from there into the work that, you know, you see throughout. See, this is just, this is a different stitch. It's slightly different than feather stitch. And you can see there's different stitches in here, right? So we're going to learn how to do some of those stitches. Okay, but like I said, the actual project will be on Patreon. So I have to save some things for Patreon. Okay. Okay, see? So, do all your seams. If it doesn't turn out exactly the way you want, it doesn't matter. You can rip it out and try it again. Or, you know, say you've got a spot that's maybe too loose. Say one of your stitches is too loose, right? We'll just stick a sequin over top of it. And you can go back after it's finished and put sequins on. Or, let me see. You can take the sequin now. Whoops. Right? And just put your sequin on. Now, you can put a bead in the center and do it that way. I have been finding that sewing the sequins flat like this, works better, just because it doesn't pop up. Like when you're, okay, so hard to explain. When you're, let's see, I've got this project. So I'm making a tarot cloth, right? And some of these have, like you can see these sequins are laying flat. They've been sewn flat. Some of them have, like I do have a lot of beads on here. You have to be careful when you're doing it. You get your stuff sewn down flat, because afterwards you're not going to be able to run your hands and your cards over without catching on stuff, right? So, but if you've got, let me see one, like one here. This is not a flat sequin, right? And if you put the bead in it too, it just doesn't, you see how it wiggles? If you sew it flat like this, you get less. I mean, it still wiggles, but this is like super wiggly, and then things catch. So, you know, depending, it doesn't matter for these bags, really, right? But like for a tarot cloth, if you like things nice and smooth and you slide your cards, this is not going to be up your alley at all, right? This is a lay your cards down nicely kind of, you know what I mean. I mean, you see, it's just not gonna, but that's okay, because I place my cards, right? I don't usually slide them around, so I'm not concerned about that. This isn't going to be an everyday tarot cloth anyways. It'll be special. Okay? So, but if you want things to stay smooth, you can just do the embroidery and skip the sequins and beads, right? And then you can just keep going. Okay. All right. There we go. That's feather stitch. Okay. Really easy. You can watch this video and pause if you need to. Okay. And then for the next video, we'll use the same swatch and we'll do some different stitches on it. Okay. And then when I have the Patreon video for this up, I'm going to be posting it in steps. So I'll let you know when each of the videos are up for this. Okay. This is a treasure. It's a treasure. It's a treasure. I don't know what else to say. It's beautiful. Okay? All right. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more, just like, share, and subscribe. Apparently, if you like, comment, and do all those little things, I'm just learning about all this stuff after I've been doing videos for years, but I'm still learning. So anyways, if you do those things, it raises your ratings and then you get more views somehow. I don't know how it all works, but whatever. It's just a little way that you can support YouTubers. It's just by liking, sharing, and commenting. All right? And subscribing. Subscribe, and then you won't miss the updates for that. So anyways, thank you so much for walking. Thank you so much for walking. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to go and work on this video. Talk to you later. Bye.